Greg Austin, Kentucky sports and country music icon, celebrates number 70 with a career that goes with music like Kentucky goes with bourbon. Greg Austin is a country music icon and the namesake of Austin City Saloon. Greg Austin is a name that goes with live music like Kentucky goes with bourbon. The Greg Austin Story is a documentary film project designed to tell the history of Kentucky's most storied high school athlete and frontman and founder of the Greg Austin Band. There are many stories that come from the Greg Austin Story that make this a significant piece in Kentucky athletics and music history. To this day, Greg serves as an inspiration to the younger generation of musicians and to all who are lucky enough to be in his presence when he is performing or simply telling a story about his life, his career, his best friend, Cincinnati Reds Big Red Machine team member and two-time World Series champion Doug Flynn, his beautiful wife Stacy, and the audience who adores him and appreciates the joy he brings to their own lives. Starting to play guitar at age 6, music became Greg Austin's friend and form of comfort all during his early childhood years, extending into his high school years. Growing up with his best friend, Doug Flynn, a boy who would later become a two-time World Series champion with the Cincinnati Reds, the two bonded over their love of sports and music, and they remain best friends even to this day. Many have said that Greg Austin was one of the best overall athletes in the state of Kentucky, earning more letters than anyone in Lafayette High School's history in football, basketball, and track. He was also a star baseball player in the summer leagues. He was named first team All-State football, third team All-State basketball, and won and set a state track record in triple jump. His high school basketball coach, Jock Sutherland, called him the perfect high school athlete in every way. He had the drive, dependability, disposition, and discipline, a perfect combination of skills that has served him well in his athletic endeavors. These same 4 attributes would also serve him well in his music career in just a few short years past his collegiate career. Recruited by 70 colleges in different sports, including the University of Kentucky's Adolph Rupp and even the Dallas Cowboys, Austin startled everyone with his decision to leave Lexington behind and play in the SEC for the Auburn Tigers basketball team. In 1974, after 2 years of college basketball at Auburn University and 3 knee operations, Austin started searching for another career. He didn't have to go far to find it. He immediately tapped into his other love, music. And in 1974, he got his first paid job at the Upstart Crow in Lexington, where he was paid in beer instead of money. He eventually joined a group called Rockcastle River Company, a folk, bluegrass, and comedy act consisting of Austin, Nick Kyle, and the Kingston Trio's Pat Horine, and he toured with them for 5 years. The years between the mid-70s and the beginning of the 80s ushered in the formation of the Greg Austin Band, after his band members made a group decision to name it after Mr. Austin. The band was better known in Texas and the Northeast than in the state of Kentucky at the time. Doug Flynn had joined the band by that time and often played with them in Manhattan when Doug was with the New York Mets. Greg attributed the band's fast rise to national fame to the addition of Mr. Flynn, who was then playing for the New York Mets. On December 11, 1981, it was opening night for Austin City Saloon, a bar purchased by Greg's 4 friends. Playing off the popularities of not only Austin's name, but the TV show Austin City Limits and country line dancing to act as a home base for the Greg Austin Band when they were not touring across the country. The bar was filled to capacity with what was called squeezing room only. Described by one reviewer, it was a place with plenty of high-heeled boots and dozens of pair of legs sheathed in denim. Greg's cousin, then Lieutenant Governor Martha Lane Collins, was sitting at the edge of the stage because she couldn't find an empty chair. The band at that time was in process of recording its 3rd album, Midnight Driver, released in 1982. Flynn sang lead on the song Crawl to the River, and New York had eagerly awaited the single because Flynn was so well known in the city. Austin City Saloon would later become the birthplace of the careers of John Michael Montgomery, Eddie Montgomery, and Troy Gentry, known as Montgomery Gentry. From 1981 to 1983, the Greg Austin Band had been on national TV 5 times and were on the way to releasing their 4th album. In 1983, the band made album number 4, The Greg Austin Band, If the Dream Could Stay, produced by Exile's J.P. Pennington. Most of the songs were written by Austin and Pennington, and it to this day is one of Austin's favorites. In October 1983, the Greg Austin Band had found a loyal following. Then described as a rockabilly group that was constantly on tour but still based in Lexington. During Governor Martha Lane Collins' administration, the Greg Austin Band delighted fans at Kentucky Derby parties, including the likes of Olivia Newton-John, Susan Lucci, Gary Collins, and Marianne Mobley. In 1987, the LP, The Greg Austin Band 6, was released and featured Somewhere in Kentucky, written by Greg Austin and NBC Sports' Kenny Rice. The song had a great deal of national airplay and continues to be a sentimental, timeless fan favorite to this day. Local artist Grayson Jenkins recently recorded this song on his latest release, which continues the legacy of Greg Austin in many ways. Band members over the years have included Rex Hart, Chris Nieto, Ernie King, Craig Chapman, Kurt Chapman, Troy Gentry, Ron Daly, Mark Dennis, Earl Staton, Paul Settles, Keith Barrett, Mickey Conley, David Malachowski, Tim Whaley, Robbie Shop, Jeff Carroll, Howard Judy, James Bubba Hudson, Ray Adams, Wanda Barnett, Robert Pearl, and his best friend, Doug Flynn. Country Rhythms magazine proclaimed that Austin has an engaging voice that feels just as much as home, rendering a slow, sensitive ballad as it does on more up-tempo arrangements, and the band has a fresh and distinctive sound that is quite appealing. The group cut several albums, had a national fan club based in New Hampshire, and was a client of the most prestigious public relations firms in the nation. Greg now lives in Lexington with his wife Stacy and their beloved dogs and cat children, Henry, Luke, Honey, and Frankie Lee. Greg now performs regularly in the Lexington area, including every Monday evening at the Twisted Cork, where he delights the new and old crowds alike. He is considered to be a mentor to young artists like Grayson Jenkins and Gary Cowell, who has also released a version of Greg Austin's song Kentucky Bound, and is an inspiration for his friends and his loyal fan base. He is the subject of a documentary film being produced by Room 17 Productions and the Greg Austin Oral History Project at the University of Kentucky Louis B. Nunn Center for Oral History. A commemorative bottle of Old Forester bourbon commissioned honoring Austin City Saloon's 37th anniversary and its namesake, Greg Austin, happened in December of 2018. And the bottle reads, "Greg Austin is a country music icon and the namesake of Austin City Saloon. Greg Austin is a name that goes with live music like Kentucky goes with bourbon. Drive, dependability, dedication, discipline. The words used by Jock Sutherland to describe Greg Austin in 1968 have now come full circle to describe him even today, right here, right now, some 50 years later."
Sometime Sunday morning, I stumble from my bed, afraid of what the mirror might say to me. Memories of you so strong, a classic case of love gone wrong. But maybe someday, well, I'll get it right. And somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky. Yeah. sleeping with a woman that once was mine. Somewhere two lovers lie together side by side in a place that once was mine.
Hell yeah.
When I see you on the street, I wonder why you don't speak. I guess some broken hearts never mend. All the things I wish I'd said, they seem as empty as my bed. But maybe someday, well, I'll get it right. And somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky, sleeping with a woman that once was mine. Somewhere two lovers lie together side by side in a place that once was mine. Whoa. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a man who's feeling lucky, sleeping with a woman that once was mine. Somewhere two lovers lie together side by side in a place that once was mine. Couple times. Thank y'all.